What's up everybody, this is Brad, and this is my top 5 moments in gaming from 2022. Starting at number 5 is Arcade1Up announcing they had licensed Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and NFL Blitz. If you remember, Maximilian Dood started the free MVC2 campaign, and while this isn't exactly the goal of that campaign, it was nice to see this game actually get some attention and be able to be played in the modern era again. And as much as I wish there would be something to do with, say, getting the game ported to Steam or to modern consoles like Nintendo Switch or Xbox Series X, PS5, if those even still exist. I'm glad that this was something that we knew was coming at some point. It had to be. Arcade1Up had already licensed and released cabinets for X-Men vs. Street Fighter and the first Marvel vs. Capcom, so it was only a matter of time. And NFL Blitz being announced right after the MVC2 cabinet was revealed, it was just a perfect time for them to be like, hey, these were like the two big games that you guys really, really wanted. We got them. Now, where do they go from here? I've talked about that in another video you can go find, and who knows, but I do think this was a very exciting point for me to see, these two big cabinets that I was really excited for them to make. At number 4, we're going to go with the hilariously broken games of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, we got to start first and say that these games are embarrassingly low quality in terms of the way they actually run on the Switch. Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, and Game Freak should be embarrassed by how choppy the game looks at times, and how the landscape within the region will just break. You could fall through the levels at some points. Like, it's not good quality. That being said, this is one of the funnest experiences I've had playing a Pokemon game, of just being able to travel around the region and look for Pokemon. I love it. And I'm only probably about halfway through the whole game at this moment. But like it's a very cool take on Pokemon. And once you get past the horrible glitches and stuff, which again, people shouldn't write those off. I don't think that it gives the game personality. I think it's a bad product that still at its core proves that people do want to play fun Pokemon games, and that the Pokemon games can be fun. But there was no excuse for the reason for the game behaving the way it does. If it rains in the game or something like that, it's gonna slow to a crawl, and it shouldn't be doing that. So yes, I do think that while the game is fun, and it was a highlight from 2022 for me to get my hands on the game, I still think that it's unacceptable. They can't do this again. They need to be thankful that people love Pokemon more than they hate glitches and things like that, and big bugs and holes in the game. But then they need to not just say like, oh well, we can just never fix this. No, they should be worrying about that now, because remember, when people were real upset about the Pokédex, they let them know. So I think that they need to get on that as soon as possible. But still, Pokemon at its core is still fun to play. Number 3 is the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack getting more N64 games. Specifically, when we got Pokemon Puzzle League, that was a big deal for me, and that got me to break my stance on holding off on getting the expansion pack, because I didn't feel like I didn't feel like the price justified itself. I just couldn't get over the price increase from going from the standard NSO service to the expansion. But Pokemon Puzzle League broke me. And I was like, I never expected them to actually bring this game back, because it is a game that is explicitly tied to the anime series, and not just the series, but like the earliest portion of the series. Like the original voice cast for Pokemon from the 4Kids dub was in that game. And I think they had only made it up to the Orange Islands at that point. Because I think that was the first time, like, you could pick Meryl in that game. But Meryl had only appeared... Meryl made, like, a special appearance in the Orange League, the Orange Islands saga, with Tracy, the guy who sketches Pokemon. Because he had 3 Pokemon. He only had 2 at first, and he caught an elderly Scyther that I remember had a very brief feud with Ash's Charizard at one point. But he had Scyther that he caught, a Venonat, and then Meryl. And that was our second introduction to Meryl as a Pokemon, because Meryl had appeared with Snubbull in the first Pokemon movie. But yeah, I was excited to play this game. I tried to emulate it and it didn't work, so having this playable on an official console was nice to see. And then later, I think it was during their, what would have been their E3 Direct, they announced a whole new set of games coming that included all 3 of the N64 Mario parties, so 1, 2, and 3. Mario Party 2 had been the only one available to, like, say, buy on, like, their eShop for so long on the Wii U. Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 3, I think, had just kind of been, you know, shelved. Couldn't buy those. But now, you can go play them. Granted, Mario Party 1 is very broken, but, you know, it's nice to have that available to play, though, in an official capacity. And another surprise, Pokemon Stadium 2, both of them. Pokemon Stadium 2. Like, now, they revealed that those will have limitations, because, remember, a big feature of those 2 games was being able to port in your Pokemon Game Boy game data and use those Pokemon in Stadium. So, can't do that, at least with technology as it is. There's no Game Boy emulation that they could tap into at the moment. But it's nice to see that both Stadium games will be available at some point this year. So I was very happy to see that, and I'm very glad now that I went ahead and upgraded to the expansion pack. And I already know there's still more games they have not revealed yet for NSO. And I hope we'll get to see some of those classics that they're still holding back on. Number 2 is actually not a video game, but I think this should still be counted as a big moment in video game history. And that is the reveal of the Super Mario Bros. Movie animation. We finally get to see what Illumination's big Mario movie is going to look like, and honestly, I'm really excited for the movie. I have some criticism of the way they're portraying Mario, specifically the voice acting, but I do think that they are holding back on that. We've gotten snippets of Chris Pratt's voice as Mario, and I think honestly, to be fair to him, to Miyamoto, to the movie, we really haven't heard enough. We don't get to hear him having any conversations or anything like that, and so I want to go into the movie while still, you know, kind of nitpicky about the way they chose to do that. I want to give it a chance, because I think everything else about this movie seems to be looking good. The animation is gorgeous, and that alone is enough to get me excited to go watch this movie. So, I'm willing to put any, like, worries, little nitpicks about things to the side when I see this movie. Because I think that even if things don't work out the way, even if maybe if Mario does sound a little off, I think that this could still be a really fun movie to watch, and it may even still be a great movie. And finally, my number one top favorite gaming moment of 2022 was the Fortnite Dragon Ball Super collaboration. I've been playing Fortnite since early 2020, and I was amused by, at first, just the idea of being able to run around this map shooting people with a gun as a banana in a suit. But once all the collabs and stuff started with like Deadpool, I really got into the game, and I never really expected anime characters to actually show up in the game until they did that Naruto collab. But even after the Naruto collab, I was always kind of hesitant about the idea that Dragon Ball would actually show up, but they did it, and it's been one of their most popular collaborations they've ever done. And at this point, now that we do have 4 Dragon Ball characters in Fortnite, I can't wait to see who makes the cut next. Because before the Dragon Ball collab happened, a second wave of Naruto skins released. So there are now 8 Naruto characters in Fortnite. And then just recently, they did a collaboration with My Hero Academia. So more Dragon Ball characters coming to Fortnite is an inevitability. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point, and I'm really excited about it. Now, will they bring back the Nimbus Cloud? Will they bring back the Kamehameha Mythic? I hope so. Maybe they'll even introduce some more Dragon Ball key-based attacks that we can all use. I'm looking forward to that. And I already know, and I said it the first day of the collab, I was gonna miss the Kamehameha when they eventually vaulted it, because I knew they had to. And I certainly missed that move. Deku's Smash for the My Hero Academia collab, while cool, it's still just not the Kamehameha. But yeah, those were my top 5 moments of gaming for 2022. And that's not to take anything away from other moments or other games or other reveals or anything like that. Those were the ones that meant the most to me. What do you guys think? What were your favorite moments from last year? Do you agree with these? Were any of these up there with your favorites? Let me know in the comments. And be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Appreciate you watching my video. I would also appreciate it if you watched my other videos. And we'll see you another day for another video. Until then, see you later.